I'm Carlin Laborio, and I help Texas teachers with the STAAR test and with reading and writing specifically. So I'm glad you're here. Today's video is going to be part of a three-part series, and this video is for curriculum directors, for teachers, for principals, for coaches, anybody who wants to help your teachers or help yourself if you're a teacher, how to look at your data in a new way that I promise you, you have not looked at your data in this way. And this is going to help you drive instruction. So I want you to keep an open mind and watch this step-by-step three-part video series and let me know if this helps you in the comments. Thanks. Part one of a three-part series, I'm going to show you how to find your data. Now, unfortunately, this does not break it down by teacher, but it does break it down by campus and by district and by state. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that step by step. So you should be seeing my screen, and the first thing you're going to do is go to Texas Research Portal. I will put the link in the description, but it's txresearchportal.com. And this is what the website looks like. This is where you are going to put in your district. So I'm just going to use Houston ISD just as an example. So you would do search, and then you're going to go ahead and click on your district, and you're going to click include statewide results if you want to go ahead and show the statewide results with your district. Now, you can also do a search by campus. It is in alphabetical order, but you can search your campus name. And I would recommend putting in the actual name of the campus, and then it would come up. And so you can look up your campus, but for today, I'm just going to keep it simple and go by the district. Okay. So once you have done that, you are going to click on STAAR 3 through 8 if you teach grades 3 through 8. If you teach high school, you're going to click STAAR EOC for English 1 and 2. So let's go ahead and start with 3 through 8. Now, this video is going to show you how to pull up the approaches, meets, and masters from whatever year you want to pull it from, but we're going to do 2025. But whenever you're watching this video, basically you would pull up whatever the last year was that has been released. So when you go down here, this is the tricky part where you have to know what report to select. You are going to click Group Summary, Performance Levels, and Reporting Categories. That is the one that's going to tell you does not meet, approaches, meets, and masters. Next, you're going to select the year. I'm going to do Spring 2025. And reading. Now we're going to select a grade level. Let's just start with third grade and view selection. So now you are going to see that it comes up the state versus your district. So you can see the does not meet, you can see approaches, you can see meets, and you can see masters on the screen. If you add your campus, you will also see that. And you'll notice it has STAAR Reading, and it also has STAAR Spanish if your campus takes Spanish. Take STAAR in Spanish, grades 3 through 5. Okay, so that is how you find your scores for those categories. And that is the first part. The second part, after looking at your scores, I'm going to go into the next video. Okay, welcome to part 2. This video is going to show you how to look at your ECR scores. Are you ready for this? Okay, so ECR scores, what you're going to do is you are going to go to Texas Research Portal, txresearchportal.com, and you are going to enter in your district name in this box. You are going to put include statewide results. I'm just using Houston ISD as an example. Then you could click STAAR 3 through 8 or STAAR EOC if you're high school. And this time, instead of clicking on group summary to get the basic does not meet and approaches, this time you are going to look at ECRs. So in order to look at that, you're going to click on Standard Constructed Response Summary. Standard Constructed Response Summary. And you're going to click Spring 2025. We're going to look at, let's look at 6th grade just for fun, and STAAR. And now when we click View Selection, we're going to see the STAAR scores. And it's going to start with all of the zeros. So this is super important. You want to look at the percentage of zeros versus the state. Anything below 19% is great. I would color code that green, 0 to 19%. If you have 20 to 29% zeros, I would say that's in the yellow zone, room for improvement. And if you have 30% or higher, I would say that's an area of red flag. So that is an area of major improvement, is to get those zeros down. And if you're interested in that, I do have workshops that will help teach you how to dissect the prompt and how to have your kids make sure they're answering the question correctly. So I have some tips and tricks for that in my ECR workshop, which is available online, but also I can come out to your district and train you in person if you're interested in that. Okay, so then if you scroll to the right, you're going to see it tells you how many ones, twos, threes, fours, fives, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what I did to come up with what's the percentage of high scores is you're going to take the percentage of 8s, which for this one would be 7%, the percentage of 9s, 5%, and the percentage of 10s, 12%. And they actually did higher than the state, which is awesome. So if you add those together, that would be 17 plus 7 would be 24%. So basically, they have 24% high scores. And I would say 0 to 9%, which you will normally see in 3rd grade, maybe even 4th grade, but especially 3rd grade. 0 to 9%, that would be an area for improvement. If you're seeing 10 to 29%, just like this one, that would be yellow. That would be an area that you could definitely improve, but not terrible. And green would be 30% or higher. If your grade level or your campus is 30% or higher, 8s, 9s, and 10s, you are living the dream. And so that would be an area of celebration, something you're doing well. And if it's below 29%, I would say it's an area for improvement. And my biggest tip for getting those high scores is using my ECR puzzles, which can be found in the VIP bundles. Those are the secret, and also conferencing. Small group conferencing is where the secret sauce is, and also one-on-one conferencing. But I really love small group conferencing, and it doesn't take as much time as one-on-one. Okay, so that is the end of how to look at your ECR scores. Remember, you can do this by campus, district, and also you can compare it by state. If you talk to your district testing coordinator, your principal, they can also give you information about how your specific kids scored and look at your data as just for one teacher. This public website doesn't break it down by teacher, but you can definitely look at that if you ask your testing coordinator. What I'm showing you today is just public information that anybody can access, and this is by campus, district, and by state. Okay, let's get into part 3. Okay, welcome to part 3 of this data, deep dive into data. Okay, the last thing we're going to look at, we just looked at does not meet, approaches, meets, and masters. Then we looked at ECR scores, percentage of zeros, and percentage of 8s, 9s, and 10s, otherwise known as high scoring ECRs. Now, the next area that I bet you have never looked at before, let's see if I can Wow, some of you out there. This is where we are going to look at reading versus writing. Okay. So half of the test from third grade all the way to English 2, half of the test is reading comprehension. Half the points come from reading. The other half of the points come from the ECR, writing or typing that essay, along with revising and editing questions. So half the test is reading and half the test is writing. So you might be wondering, how did my students do on reading versus writing? Where is my strength and where is my area that I need to really focus on? You might find that you are equal. And if you are equal, you just want to hit everything equally. But if you find out that reading is stronger or writing is stronger, it might give you good information about what you need to really focus on for the next few months leading up to STAAR in order to get those scores up. Okay, so in order to look at reading versus writing, you are going to go back to the texasresearchportal.com, type in your district or your campus, and include statewide results. Now for this one, we're actually not going to include statewide results. And I'll show you why, because otherwise the data on the page is just overwhelming. So we're going to take off that box where it says statewide results. Okay. And then going down, you're either going to click STAAR 3 through 8, or you're going to click STAAR EOC if you teach high school. And then you are going to click standard summary this time. So the standard summary, and then we're going to do spring 2025 reading, and we're going to go with STAAR. And this time we will pick 8th grade just for fun and view selections. Okay. So here's the tricky part. We are going to actually scroll over to the right. And so I know it gives us all this information about different populations. We're actually going to stick to this top row where it says all students. And we are going to scroll to the right and go up here. And I want to show you how it has reporting category 1, that's reading. And then it has reporting category 2, and that is writing. And what it's done here is it's giving us the mean or the average and the percentage. So if you look at this district that I just picked as an example is higher, 58%, much higher in reading than writing. So 58% is reading and 53% is writing. So I would make a note as the district as a whole definitely needs to focus more on revising, editing, and the ECR over the reading. The reading is a little bit stronger and the writing is a little bit weaker. So especially if you dig into this and you look at each campus and you look at, this is just 8th grade, but if you look at each grade level, you can make spreadsheets and put this all into a slideshow that really shows what you want to focus on to drive instruction for the rest of the year. And things that would help with revising and editing, I have workbooks that have 14 weeks of warm-ups for revising and editing, where the teacher can kind of guide the discussion and model, and the students can work in pairs to do the warm-up questions. These are STAAR-like questions that are integrated with social studies. So the passages basically hit social studies topics. So 5th grade is U.S. history, 4th grade is Texas history, 7th grade is Texas history. So you get the idea. 3rd through 6th grade has already been published on Amazon. 7th and 8th are coming soon. High school, perhaps, coming soon. And 2nd grade. I have a book out for 2nd grade that is coming out soon. So be sure to sign up on my email list. I'll put the link in the description. And follow me on my Facebook page. I will be announcing when those books come out. If you would like a discount on class sets, even if you're buying more than one copy for your teachers, email me. I'll put my email in the description, and make sure you email me so I can send you a quote with a discount when you buy directly with me through a purchase order. So I will give you a quote that includes shipping, and all of that is going to help your kids to be successful with revising and editing. I have workshops on this. If you want me to come in and help your district with this data, if you want me to crunch the numbers for you and present all the slides and do all of that with your teachers, I would be happy to do that. If not, I hope this video helped you, and I hope you can DIY and get some useful data crunching out of this video. All right, thanks so much. Bye.